So in front of me today, we have probably one of the most expensive 22 PRS builds you can do. This rifle build ended up coming in right around 10K. We're gonna take it out and shoot it for accuracy at long range, short range, and show you how it performs on the barricade. Now we're gonna go through the components we put together to make this build one of the best builds you can have on the market. So we're starting off, we have it sitting in an MDT ACC Elite. This is the brand new chassis coming out from MDT here this fall, and we've tricked it out with basically everything we could that MDT makes and some other products as well. The barreled action is a Voodoo 360, so it's a 60-degree bolt throw action, and it has one of the Voodoo barrels on this. On front of the barrel, we do have a tuner here from Insight Arms. On top of the gun, we have an MDT one-piece mount with a Razor Gen 3 scope on it and an LRA level here to keep us level, and a backup vortex level as well, bubble level. In the fore end of the gun, we've got 3 weights, internal weights to help balance out the gun, plus we have 2 of our new external weights here as well. And to finish off the front, we have a double pole sky pod. Back from there, we have the Baker wings to help with stability shooting off of your bags, off of barricades or whatever. And we also have what we call our control bridge that goes over top of your barrel here. This gives you a little bit of purchase when you want to grab a hold of your gun. It also doubles as a Mirage seal. So moving back from there, just a standard Voodoo mag. We also have a 15-round metal mag to go with this gun too. And then in the rear here, we have our jelly dampers for this setup as well. So I've got this gun all tuned in. I've got all the grip all set up for my hand, the thumb shelf set up for my hand. I'll probably do a few more little adjustments to the buttstock when we get on the range. And we're gonna get out and just see how accurate a setup like this can be. Okay, we're out here at a long range spot to test out our Ultimate 22 build. I've got a target out at just over 550, 552, 553 area. When I go and I calculate that in my dope, I actually don't have enough elevation. So I went and borrowed a Charlie Taric, TACCOM HQ Charlie Taric to attach to the front of here. It's essentially a periscope, adding almost 30 mils of elevation. Pretty extreme to go and use one of these on a 22, but this isn't a pretty extreme build we're trying to do. Well, let's get shooting and see what happens. We're just gonna add a little bit extra challenge. Let's make it off a tripod here, see if we can get a first round impact. So I don't have a very good backstop down there, but I'm just gonna keep on adding wind, I think. The spot where I have to put that target at is basically just vegetation. So there's no indicator on where the round's actually landing in and around that target. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and shoot this at a closer spot that has more dirt that I can see possibly where it's hitting at. See if there's like a goofy wind down there or something. Oh, I saw it. Okay, so like reviewing these over, it looks like my windage is on now for sure. Got that dialed in, like I'm hitting right around that T-post. So I'm gonna adjust my dope, and that should hopefully adjust it for what we're shooting at that 550 yard target. We'll see what happens here.
Is that just right?
Maybe, take a look. Okay, so we saw an impact that was like just a little bit low and to the right. So I'm gonna load up another mag here and try some more. I think we got a better idea where it's hitting at.
It was just high into the left.
High into the left? Yeah. Oh, got it. Nice. Okay, so that was a challenge. The consistency of the ammo at that distance is obviously poor because it is ridiculously far for a 22, and it's coming in at a very high angle. We'll pull up the actual arc of fire and show you in a nice graph below here. So when we actually went down to go take a look at the target at 550 yards, we were surprised that we actually had probably around 4 impacts from the rimfire. You can see them, the smaller hits on the steel. The larger ones were from us doing some shooting afterwards with the center fire as well. Just wasn't enough energy for that rimfire to make it ring. We did hear it once, but it never actually lit up our indicator we had on the target, and honestly didn't even move the target. So to test the accuracy for this gun, we're gonna go shoot some groups at 50 yards here, see what kind of sizes we get for those groups, and then go and try and shoot some more interesting targets. So we got some matchsticks and some Tic Tacs to try and hit. So I like aiming at little tiny spots on the target. So like I use these tips of the diamonds, I guess you call them. I'm not sure what we call them exactly. So that I should have adjusted my scope on that first one there to take my aiming point away from where my point of impact was going to be. So I kind of washed out my point of aim. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple tenths to my elevation and get that adjusted and shoot one more group to see if it tightens it up anymore. Yeah, so definitely nice tighter group down there because I could actually keep on my aiming point on the end of one of the tips of the diamonds. So we'll go down and take a look at that, measure it up, and see what it does for accuracy. The first one here, you kind of see it's a little bit larger, and that's because I didn't actually adjust my point of aim for my point of impact. It's really critical when you're trying to shoot as tight a groups as you can to do that. You can see the difference in this group size to this group size. So with the accuracy we're trying to push out of this 22, we want to go and shoot at some really small targets. And a couple fun small targets that we can shoot at is a matchstick, which you can see is probably about half the size of a 22 round. And we also have some Tic Tacs down there as well. Just your standard white Tic Tac, mint Tic Tac. And it's right around actually about the same size as the bullet, maybe even just a touch larger. So we'll see how it goes and see what kind of accuracy we can get out of this gun. So I did not know how much fun it was going to be to shoot matchsticks and Tic Tacs. They just explode when you hit them. And you can see it from your scope because we're not too far out here at 50 yards. And then we also have the downrange camera here set up so you can see them just disintegrate in front of you. So that was a lot of fun. We're going to go back and set up a barricade and see how this rifle runs on the barricade at some steel at 100 yards. So with all the adjustability and customization you can do on the ACC Elite and Premier as well, it allows you to just make sure you can get this gun to fit you absolutely perfectly, balance perfectly with a set of weights, and also add some accessories like the Baker wings just to add a little more stability left to right. It's 22, so there's not a lot of recoil, I realize that, or there's basically no recoil, but having a gun that is very well balanced and set up this way, it allows you to see those rounds literally going through the air because they're slow enough you can see them. And make sure that you can follow up very, very quickly because little wind changes with a 22 makes a massive difference when you're downrange. Yeah, so transition is really easy. Bounce is really nice. I was watching my rounds go down range. They were really the majority of them. And quick follow-up shots. So it's definitely hitting all the marks that we need to hit for this setup. We got super high precision for long range, short range, and obviously for barricade work. To the accuracy we had at long range and short range with this rifle setup, and the balance that we could obtain for shooting off of barricades, this rifle is just an awesome all-around gun for shooting competition, PRS competition in particular, and it's really gonna push your abilities, and you won't be able to blame it on the gun now.